Hello and good day. I'm David Penn, Research Analyst with Finovate. Thank you for joining us for our latest webinar, Secrets of Successful Financial Services CFOs. Delivering today's presentation are Ruhul Moksud and Kirsty Scotland of Sage. Now, before I turn things over to Ruhul and Kirsty, I want you to know that this is an interactive presentation and we encourage your questions. If you'd like to ask us a question, go ahead and use the Ask a Question button on your interface and we'll take up those questions toward the end of our session. With that housekeeping out of the way, let's go ahead and get started. Ruhul, take it away.
Superb, thank you very much. So for today, our agenda includes a quick background about myself and my colleague Kirsty. We'll go into the research around the secrets of successful CFO summary. We'll follow up with a demonstration of Sage Intacct, and then there'll be a live Q&A session at the end. Hope that's okay for today's agenda. So a quick background about myself. So I've been working within the financial services space for the past 12 years and really helping the finance team in their digital transformation journey. There's been three key areas that I've seen major improvements in and when customers come to me for certain challenges. First area is around growth. So when a company has challenges around increase in transaction volumes, number of different legal entities, or increasing or going into different geographical locations, that's growth challenges for the finance team, and I've been able to help customers in supporting them in their growth journey. Second area is that within the financial processes, there's a lot of manual processes that are being adopted. Things that are done offline, on Excel spreadsheets, on email. There's a lot of duplication of effort and there's errors. So that's what we would call manual processes. I've been able to help introduce AI and introduce automation to be able to resolve some of those manual processes. Lastly, by having all the information in one place, I've been able to grant customers better visibility into their business, to be able to see around the corner, to have real-time information and make those decisions based on real-time information. Please do come to me afterwards if you require any further assistance in a tailored demonstration, talking about if you want to discuss what challenges you've got with your current system and how you could easily migrate over to something like Sage Intacct. Commercials is also something that I can help manage. I'll pass it over to my colleague Kirsty.
Good morning, everyone. My name's Kirsty. I'm a solutions consultant for Sage Intacct. I have over 16 years of experience working at Sage Software across the product portfolio, and that includes Sage 50 Accounts, Sage 50 Payroll, Sage Business Cloud, and Sage 200. I'm currently working with customers in the financial services sector who are looking to grow and scale with Sage Intacct.
So we'll go into our executive summary focused within the financial services space, the secrets of successful CFOs. Will help you drive innovation and efficiency within the financial services space. So CFOs in financial services play a critical role in navigating technological advancements, as well as dealing with regulatory demands while deploying agile financial strategies. The Secrets of Successful CFOs examines the evolving roles of CFOs into the Chief Financial Growth Officer, the CFGOs. From the slides I'm going to share with you afterwards, we'll provide actionable insights from an in-depth analysis of key metrics and trends within the financial services space. What we're going to be doing is comparing industry-specific trends with global averages, so we can highlight some of those unique challenges and opportunities for our senior finance leaders. Let's look at the first metric. So technology's impact on roles. Financial services say that 92% have said that technology will play a major impact on their role compared to the global average of 86%, both extremely high. Financial services CFOs lead the adoption of advanced digital solutions. They leverage technology for efficiency and strategic decision-making. They use real-time analytics to drive business insights and enhance regulatory compliance and customer service through digital innovation. We'll look at the next insight. Adoption of AI and machine learning. So with financial services sitting at 69% and the global average at 61%, it shows, and I think this is more of an upward trend as we go throughout the months and years. There's going to be more of a willingness to adopt AI and machine learning. But what we learn here is that the financial services sector's willingness to embrace AI highlights its commitment to using cutting-edge technologies, which improves decision-making and operational efficiencies. It reshapes how we manage risk and how our staff interact with systems to gain a more competitive edge. Next metric is around the commitment to digital transformation. Currently, financial services have a 68% commitment, whereas the global average slightly lagging behind at 61%. And I think this is a continuous upward trend. CFOs are leading digital transformation within the financial services space to stay ahead. They're focusing on enhancing supplier engagement and operational excellence through strategic technology deployments. Another major issue that we see on a regular basis, and that is around talent retention, which is a key priority. The shortage of skilled finance and accounting personnel is driving the adoption of new technologies and ways of working. CFOs should really aim to arm their teams with the best tools to do their jobs effectively. Let's look at this metric, so automation of business processes, with financial services sitting again higher than the global average at 67% compared to 59%. The sector has a higher focus on automation to enhance accuracy, to reduce the costs and comply with regulations, mainly so we can actually free up some of that resource that you have within the finance team for more strategic tasks. Last metric of today, we'll look at the use of predictive analysis. Financial services having the biggest delta here compared to all the metrics that we looked at 69% compared to the global average of 58%. So by strategically employing predictive analytics, financial services CFOs are able to forecast trends more accurately and tailor services to better meet customers' needs and drive growth. So we've looked at these metrics. What can we take away from here? What actions can we take? The first one, our recommendation is that you should look at deepening technological integration. Invest in solutions that leverage AI and machine learning so you can identify risk and increase automation. Understand that AI isn't just a standalone purchase, but an integral component of your core operations. Expand digital transformation initiatives. Brace innovations in blockchain, in cybersecurity, and fintech so you can maintain a competitive edge and adapt to shifts in the global financial landscape. You should really be prioritizing cybersecurity so you can protect sensitive data, and overall that will help to build that customer trust. Enhance automation strategies. So scale operations efficiently through automation of core business processes. Reduce some of those operational costs, increase accuracy, and lessen the burden of key employees by automating some of those repetitive tasks. Last recommendation is to capitalize on data analytics. Use advanced analytics so you can gain deeper insights into your customers' behaviors. Have a better understanding of your operational risks and have overall visibility of your financial performance. With all this combined, you'll be able to lead with a more strategic decision making. So as we're talking about adopting new technology, let's talk about Sage Intacct. For CFOs in the financial services sector, using advanced capability in Sage Intacct is essential for achieving high efficiency, compliance, and real-time insights. By integrating this tool, CFOs can grow their business, reduce their cost, add tighter controls, whilst making better data-driven decisions. So let's talk about a customer story that's using Sage Intacct. So Colmore PS are a private equity and asset monitoring company. They came to me when they had lots of challenges. They had siloed entities in different geographical locations. Consolidations was done manually. They had the purchasing process where they weren't able to approve things, where they're approving things offline in emails and chasing people up. Reporting was a major challenge. They had no real-time visibility within their business. By putting in something like Sage Intacct, we were able to help in a few different key areas. First of all, we were able to help with their global consolidation process. We reduced that down from 3 hours to 5 minutes. We saved them 6 hours per month on purchase invoice processing. They're now able to do their approvals online within the system and can actually see the physical invoice documents within the application. They also have tighter controls around their payments and processing their payments. By having all the legal entities on the one platform, they're now able to have enhanced visibility in real time, whilst also improving their processes and streamlining their operations. That's me for now. I'll pass it over to Kirsty.
Thanks, Ruhul. So on today's demonstration, we'll view the role-based dashboards and dimensional reporting that are available in Sage Intacct. We'll then look at how AP automation can improve efficiency with AI and machine learning. And we'll finish off with the multi-entity consolidation platform. Sage Intacct is a modern cloud platform for financial management. You'll gain real-time insight through dynamic reports and dashboards, which we'll look at during this demonstration. Continuous consolidation saves time at month and year end and gives you quick access to the data that you need to streamline your business processes. And unlike on-premise software, Intacct is a true native cloud platform. It can be accessed via any web browser of your choice or any device from anywhere and can scale and grow with your business. Role-based dashboards give deep multidimensional accounting for efficient financial operations. And the intuitive report writer gives you full control without the need for IT help. And you can customize existing reports or create new reports depending on your needs. These dashboards and reports give you instant visibility for real-time decision making, something which is so important to businesses. And Intacct has a packed marketplace, allowing you to link your best-in-class finance platform to other best-in-class solutions, whether it's CRM or expenses, or whatever you need to automate and improve your processes. Sage Intacct uses the 3 pillars for reporting, dashboards, and KPIs. And they are entities, general ledger accounts, and dimensions. So I'm now logged into the Intacct platform as Emma, the financial controller, and I'm viewing a controller dashboard. And dashboards in Sage Intacct provide real-time meaningful information across multiple entities and can be role-based, allowing users to focus on the data that is relevant to them and their role. And the great thing about Sage Intacct is you can build dashboards for any role within the organization. And you can also create dashboards for specific purposes like consolidation or month-end close. And you can set permissions so users can only access the information that is relevant to them. And the options that make up this dashboard are called components. And as you can see, they can include graphs, reports, and also performance cards. And you can also get access to a great feature in the platform called Intacct Collaborate. And this allows you to communicate with colleagues using the platform. There's no need for any external communication tools like email. You can send a message, a file, or even take a snapshot of some data that you want to share with a colleague, or you may need more information on. And performance cards show a metric for a current period. And you can also view comparison metrics against a previous period or even a budget. And the arrows and the faces that you can see can flag up any potential issues. And the value on the performance card is a calculation based on account groups. And that's a set of accounts that you define from your chart of accounts. And you can drill down on these performance cards to see all of the accounts making up the metric. It can even show you comparative periods as well. And you can also drill down on any of the charts and graphs and the reports. All of these features have drill down functionality. And we can also change the settings as well. So if we wanted to change the way that we view the data, so maybe we want to view this operating expense in the form of a bar graph rather than a pie graph, we can easily do that and make changes on the fly on the dashboard, we can easily edit how we view these components as well. And with our reports, so I have a profit and loss actual versus budget report here. I can drill down on all of this information, and we can also add conditional formatting to reports as well. So you can see this report is highlighting and showing me when I've gone over budget. So it's highlighted in red when there is a difference here. And again, as I mentioned, we can use that drill down functionality to drill down and investigate further. And the real power of the dashboards is in the filter option. So on the top right of the dashboard here, we have the option to filter by dimension. And what's really useful here is you can choose which dimensions you want to add as filters. And to do this, we just simply click on the cog on the right-hand side of the dashboard. And here is where you can choose the appearance of the dashboard, so the name, the color of the dashboard. You can also set permissions as well, so you can choose who's allowed or who you deny access to the dashboard to. But on the filters tab, we can filter by up to 3 dimensions. So at the minute, I'm choosing to filter by department location, and I've renamed my class dimension to cost center, but you can choose and take whichever dimensions that you want to use. And you can also view by date format as well. So really easy for you to be able to choose how you slice and dice the data on the dashboard. And what we can do with these filters is if I wanted to view this controller dashboard, but just see this detail for my finance department, I can choose that option from the filter list, click apply, and immediately the information will render and it will just show me the detail now for that dimension that I've selected, that finance department. So really easy to do that. We can also filter by entity as well. So as you can see, I'm just viewing this detail for the UK entity, but if I wanted to view this information for my US entity, for example, I can choose that option from the drop-down filter, and you'll see again the information renders showing me this controller dashboard detail for my US entity. You can see the currency symbol has changed there as well. It's really easy to have that slice and dice functionality there using the dimensions in Sage Intacct. And switching between dashboards is very easy as well. And as mentioned, you can have dashboards for different purposes and different roles in the system. So I'm able to switch and look at an accounts payable dashboard for an AP manager. And you can see the detail has changed to just show me information relevant to this role. So I can see accounts payable information. I can see any trends, any transactions that are pending and awaiting approval, and also aging detail as well. It's really easy for you to switch between dashboards in the platform. If we just go back to the controller dashboard here, what we can do is we can customize the dashboard and we can add components. So if I click on the plus icon near the top right here, what I'm able to do is I can add a component. So I could choose to add a chart, I can add a performance card, a record, but in this example, we're going to add a report, and we can choose the type of report that we want to add. So you can see I've got quite a comprehensive list of different reports, but we'll just select a profit and loss by department and click on to save. And what you'll see is immediately the dashboard changes, and I've now got a profit and loss by department report on the left-hand side. And what you're able to do as well is you've got drag and drop functionality. So I can drag that profit and loss to the center of the dashboard, and I can view the details so I can see all of my departments along the top and my general ledger account groupings down the left-hand side as well. So the idea behind this is that the dashboard isn't just a place for you to see the numbers, it's also a place for you to be able to analyze the numbers as well. And what's really useful here is there's no coding, you don't need an IT department. The tools to edit the dashboard are available for you on the dashboard itself. And the 3 pillars I mentioned before of general ledger, code, entity, and dimension really work together to provide you with more consistent reporting. And dashboards enable you to filter, to show entity-specific information. Performance cards show KPIs, which are fully drillable, and show the subset of information which makes up the number. And we'll now look at the reports that are available in Sage Intacct. And we find that many finance teams often struggle with reporting using error-prone spreadsheets and external reporting tools. They export data which can cause delays in information delivery to decision makers, resulting in less time for analysis. And in Sage Intacct, you can build reports. And as we've just seen, dashboards to access real-time data for single source of truth reporting. And the multi-dimensional analysis will allow you to slice and dice data with the ability to drill down to source information, ensuring you get an accurate understanding of how your business is performing. And as we've just covered, any reports that you create in Sage Intacct can all be displayed on a dashboard. And the module menu list here in the platform gives you quick and easy access to specific subledger reports. So if, for example, I go into accounts receivable, what you'll see here is I can easily access customer aging and invoice analysis reports directly from this screen. But the Sage Intacct Report Center gives access to in-depth reporting with a library of reports and financial statements, as well as the tools to allow me to modify, duplicate, and create new reports from scratch. So we'll access the Sage Intacct Report Center where the reports are held. And from here, we can access and edit reports directly. So first of all, in the Report Center, we're on the All Reports tab. And here we have a list of all the financial reports that come with Sage Intacct. So you don't have to start from scratch. The platform includes the templates for you to get started with. The Memorized Reports option allows us to memorize any specific parameter settings that we would always use for running certain reports. And if we click onto Scheduled, we can also schedule reports to allow us to automatically send out reports via email to both internal and external stakeholders. And at the bottom here, I've got a few examples where I've grouped some reports together to create a month-end pack. What I'm able to do is I can choose how that's scheduled. So I can go into Edit Schedule and I can choose how often this is sent, who it's sent to. So I can have multiple email addresses in here as well. And I can automatically send out that month-end pack to the stakeholders that I choose from the list there. It's really easy for you to be able to do that as well. And if we go back to all reports, what we can also do is we can easily go in and edit reports, and it takes us straight into Sage Intacct's report writer. And the report writer in Sage Intacct has an intuitive tab format. So what we've got is we've got some options in here where we can choose who has access to reports. So again, we can set permissions or exclusions. We can add notations and comments to reports. So if you need to provide reports to external bodies, you can. You can even choose the format and the font of a report as well. Choose how a report is filtered. So which options, which dimensions do you filter a report by? You can add computations. You can also come in here and add columns and choose the data that the report is looking at in the columns and rows section quite easily on the report as well. And you can also preview any changes that you've made before you save, and you can duplicate existing reports in here as well. So really easy to edit any of the existing reports in the platform using Sage Intacct's intuitive report writer. And here on the right hand side, we've got an option to create new reports, so you can create reports from scratch. You can start from an existing report, or even use the custom report wizard, which gives you a step-by-step guide to be able to create reports. So really easy and intuitive to use. And as this demonstration shows, it's quick and easy to make changes to the reports in Sage Intacct on the fly, giving you that real-time visibility with a report suite that is intuitive, easy to use, and fully configurable. And next, we'll take a look at Sage Intacct's AP automation, which uses AI and machine learning. So the more that you use it, the more that it learns. And this is a module that's very easy to switch on and configure in the platform. So in accounts payable, we have the option to view our automated transactions. So this is transactions that have come into Sage Intacct via our AP automation. They've either been uploaded into the platform, or we provide you with an email address so your suppliers can email invoices directly into Sage Intacct as well. And in this screen, you've got the option to upload. So in here, we can choose to drag and drop or browse in our AP invoices. So we can choose the entity, and there you've got the option to browse in the files, and it tells you on screen that you can upload up to 30 unencrypted in the file formats that are supported as well. It's really easy for you to just simply browse in and upload the data into the platform. And if we look in this screen as well, so we have an existing invoice that has previously been uploaded, and we can see it comes into Sage Intacct in a draft state. So it's there for you to check, make any amendments if required before you post to the ledger. In this invoice has been uploaded, we can see it's extracted the date, the supplier information, the invoice number. It's also got multiple lines on there as well, so it's itemized that. We can see the values, the VAT detail here as well. What you would have, and what's particularly useful, is you'd be able to see the actual invoice that's come in from the supplier alongside the transaction as well. So we can see the detail, and then when we're happy, you can submit and post that to the ledger. And what's particularly useful as well is Sage Intacct will flag up any anomalies for you. So as I said, it will learn from the choices that you make, and it will flag up potential duplicates. So maybe if an invoice is uploaded twice in error, or it's emailed in twice from a supplier, you can see there it's got a duplicate exception. And it will also give you a link to the original invoice, so you can check and view if this is an actual duplicate or if it is correct. So it will flag up these exceptions for you as well. And every time that you post an invoice to the ledger, that the AI and machine learning will activate. And as I said, it will learn from the choices that you make. And this is really just a feature to automate processing and to try and minimize that manual data entry that often goes into processing supplier invoices. And now as well, with AP automation in Sage Intacct's purchasing module, you can easily match incoming supplier invoices to outstanding purchase orders. An AP automation with purchasing drafts the incoming PO purchase invoice, and it matches it to any previous documents, such as the purchase order or receiver. And Sage Intacct will again use artificial intelligence to detect the supplier and match the PO purchase invoice to a purchasing transaction as well. So again, in purchasing, we can see automated transactions. And what we've got here is we've got an example, a supplier named Code Office Supplies. And what we can see is it's automatically matched. So we have a matched transaction column. So it's matched this invoice that's come in from our supplier to an existing purchase order in Sage Intacct. And we can see the detail here. And if we drill into this, so again, if we just drill into this transaction, what's really useful is we can see the detail of the invoice that's coming from the supplier. Again, we've got that attachment that we can view on screen, so we can see the full invoice that's come in. We can see the individual line items, but we also have a link here. So it's converted from a purchase order that already exists in Sage Intacct, and we can click and we can view the purchase order that this invoice has been converted from as well. So again, a new feature in the platform using AI and machine learning, again, to take away that manual data entry, improve processes, and increase automation using your finance solution. Next, we'll take a look at the consolidation feature available in Sage Intacct. Sage Intacct provides a financial consolidation module which will allow finance teams to manage their entities, reports, and consolidations all within one finance system. And you can consolidate multi-currency entities into one single reporting currency, providing you with that single source of truth. So in Sage Intacct, my company is a multi-entity global organization. And what you can see here is if we just take a look at my organization view, we can see my organizational structure. So I have a number of different entities, and within that, I also have different locations in here as well. And to consolidate into Sage Intacct, you would consolidate into books. And you can set up as many consolidation books as you want to as well. So what you would do is you go to Setup and Books, and you can see I've got several already created, but you could click onto Add. And then here you would need to pop in your book name, the description of the consolidation book as well. You could choose the currency that you want to consolidate into. So it gives you the option to select the currency. And then also translation methods if you do have global consolidation for balance sheet and income statement accounts as well. And then you would select the entities that you want to actually include in the consolidation. So you could select all or just select specific entities. It's up to you how this would work. You would also have an elimination entity. And what's particularly useful is this elimination entity is a shell entity that deals with your intercompany transactions. And the consolidation module in Sage Intacct will automatically deal with those inter-entity eliminations for you, again, taking away that manual process. And you can consolidate any dimensions if you want to as well. And you can see there's a tick box to enable that inter-entity auto elimination. And the Journals tab here allows you to review the consolidation entities. You can add journals from other books if you want to as well. And on the next tab, you can select any accounts to be overwritten with a different currency conversion method than those set up for the overall book. And this would generally be for global consolidations only. And now what we can do is we can come to run our consolidation in the platform. So I've already got, as I said before, some consolidation books set up. So this is a group consolidation, and we can see all of the entities that are included in this consolidation as well. And we can see we've consolidated the month of January, so we'll just choose to consolidate the month of February. And again, it's got a key at the bottom. So green, it tells you the consolidation has been successful, blue in progress, and red if it's failed. It's unlikely that a consolidation would ever fail. That potentially could only happen maybe if you lose internet connection partway through. And what you're able to do is you're able to then consolidate. But what's really useful is you can create a recurrence. So you can set the platform to consolidate automatically in the background. You can choose this to happen daily, weekly, or monthly. Choose however many days after period end you would want to do this, and recur through date as well. And then also an email address to be notified at when the consolidation has gone through. And what we can also do in this option as well is consolidate with options. And if you are running a global consolidation, you can see it pulls through that ending spot rate, weighted average rate information from OANDA as well. So we can choose to consolidate. It will notify you an email address, as I said, when the consolidation is successful, and it will run through that consolidation for you as well. And really the idea of this is you're able to then report on this detail. So in the consolidation module, you have access to some financial reports and graphs, but what's particularly useful is you can also view a consolidation dashboard in Sage Intacct as well. So we're able to view our consolidation dashboard. And on here, we can view a consolidated balance sheet. We can see all of the entities on here. We can see we've got a column here for our eliminations, our entity elimination journals. We can see this totals at the end of the report as well. We can also view inter-entity reconciliation reports, consolidated profit and loss reports if required as well. And without this functionality, you would have to do manual journals to record the elimination of inter-entity transactions. So as you can see, this is potentially a huge time saver for many companies who are manually consolidating their entities in Excel and spending hours or even days processing these elimination journals. So what have we seen today? So the dashboards and reports in Sage Intacct offer financial and operational analysis. They use real-time information with detailed dimensional analysis and drill to source information. They enable users to develop reports easily without the help of IT support with the easy-to-use interface. We've seen how AP automation can save time by utilizing machine learning and AI, and will learn from your selection. It will become more intuitive the more you use it, eliminating the need for manual data entry. And we've looked at how the consolidation module in Sage Intacct can improve automation and reduce manual effort. With the automation of elimination journals, your consolidation process is simplified, allowing you to consolidate global entities and multi-currencies into one single reporting currency, providing you with that single source of truth. And I'll now hand over to David for Q&A.
Thank you very much, Kirsty, for a very interesting demonstration. I'm always impressed when I am reminded about the power of automation, machine learning, and AI when it comes to really boosting efficiency in financial services. It's really the gift that continues to keep giving to our industry. So it's really a very interesting aspect of what you were able to present. And also for you, Ruhul, I want to thank you for that overview that you provided to start us off with. We're going to go ahead and move into a few questions. I want to let everyone know that we are taking questions. If you have a question for either Ruhul or for Kirsty, or for both, feel free to use the Ask the Question button, and we'll be sure to get to them. I think we've got plenty of time to get to all of the questions that we have. We have a few here that have already come in, but again, we have plenty of room for additional questions. If you have one or a comment that you'd like to make about something that you've heard, please feel free to share that as well. Taking a look at what we've got that's come in, I'm going to start here with this first one, which is a bit of a sort of summary overall type of question. And maybe Kirsty, this one could go to you to start us off. And this question is, what are the key traits that make a CFO successful in today's financial services industry? Again, Kirsty, let's go with you with that one.
Yeah, sure. So I think really the key traits, just referring back to the demonstration, is really embracing what's out there with the cloud technology, AI, and automation. I think embracing these things will help efficiency and also decision making within businesses, so make life easier for CFOs. And I think studies have shown that CFOs who effectively integrate technology into finance do report having higher job satisfaction. So I think that it is key. I also think that the CFOs are kind of no longer just sitting managing budgets. I think they really have more of a key role across departments in the business, and they play a crucial role in driving strategy business wide. So I think kind of breaking silos and working across departments is key to becoming a successful CFO as well. And also things like work-life balance, it's so important with the role of the CFO growing and expanding. It's important that CFOs maintain that work-life balance and manage well-being alongside their growing professional responsibilities in the business as well.
Very interesting point. I really appreciate the point you made about moving beyond budgets. I think for a lot of us, there's still this sort of almost antiquated notion of what a CFO is, and your presentation and rules really do articulate how that has grown tremendously, and quite frankly, presented a lot of opportunities for CFOs to really grow the sort of work that they do and their understanding and role that they play in their businesses and organizations. To that end, that actually kind of leads us into the second question that came in. I think it follows very well from the first. You talked about the importance of CFOs adopting these and embracing some of these new functionalities and capabilities. So this next question asks, what are some of the challenges to adopting this automation, and how can CFOs who might be relatively new to this overcome those challenges?
Yeah, I think it is certainly challenging, and one of the big things that is most challenging, I guess, is using those older kind of legacy on-premise systems. So these types of systems can make the automation that we talked about that's so important, can make that adoption of automation quite difficult. But that's where Sage Intacct can come in. So cloud-based solutions like Sage Intacct really simplify that integration, allowing finance teams to work seamlessly. So Sage Intacct has a fully open API, can integrate with any other cloud-based systems, and we have many pre-built integrations as well. So I think that's a challenge that Sage Intacct can certainly help solve. I think as well, change resistant is something that comes up. A shift and a change, moving to automation and moving to cloud-based solutions can be often met with resistance when people are used to certain systems, used to maybe on-premise. And I think that maybe having a strong change management approach, a strong change management department within business can really help and ease the transition as well. And things like balancing cost versus return on investment is key. So being able to recognize the long-term gains that are available from embracing automation, and things like I showed on the demonstration, the reduction of manual processing and manual tasks as well. These really help with faster decision making and kind of show that cost benefit analysis to CFOs as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I read the concept that you mentioned of change management. I think that's an interesting concept I haven't heard as often as perhaps I should in this context. And quite also, it also perhaps underscores just the role of leadership when it comes to these sorts of things that you mentioned. A lot of folks are used to doing things a certain way, understandably, and change is always difficult for all of us. And just that role that leadership does play in helping people understand where we're going as an organization. And as you mentioned, the role of the technology, in a sense, to assist in that role, the technology that's accessible, that's well constructed, so that it makes some of these hurdles a little bit easier for individuals to overcome. I think that was perhaps one of the highlights of your demonstration, I think, pointing out some of the different ways that the technology itself can help make some of this movement easier to accomplish for individuals and organizations as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
And again, I just wanted to remind our attendees that we still have some time. If you have a question, if it's either from the presentation, from the demonstration, or something from our conversation here that's come to mind, certainly we do have time. Feel free to go ahead and submit that to us, and we will get to that question as well. We still have a few in the queue, but again, if you have a question for us, feel free to submit that to us, and we will be sure to address it to Kirsty or Ruhul, who of you would like to answer your question. Taking a look again at another one that's come in, and this one does follow also talking about technology, and perhaps this one might be one for you, Ruhul, to take on. This has to do with the idea of strategic technology investments, particularly how these investments contribute to the long-term business growth in financial services organizations. Ruhul, is that something that maybe you'd be able to address for us?
Yeah, so I'm thinking here, so technology investments can, and I've seen it on numerous occasions, drive long-term growth by enhancing, I think, three key areas. Again, I'll keep mentioning this, is around enhancing efficiency, ensuring compliance, and enabling scalability. Automation, AI, and cloud computing can really streamline operations. It can cut costs and help meet those regulatory requirements. And many finance leaders have already seen the benefits of AI-powered financial processes. Beyond just operational improvements, AI can drive better analytics, so you can improve your decision making and again have that competitive edge. Advanced insights can help with risk management, scenario planning, and just support that long-term strategy. Making AI is game changer, I really believe, for finance teams to be able to look ahead and stay ahead of the competition.
Excellent. I like the point that you made about the idea of being ahead of this. One of the things that was very interesting in the first half of our presentation, your presentation in particular, really seemed to show a real determined pursuit of innovation in financial services, which maybe might have surprised folks relative to the average. So very, very interesting point that you make there. I want to take a look at one other question that has come in. Again, this is also talking about technology in particular. And Ruhul, if that's okay, I'd like to go ahead and address this to you as well. And this is talking about, you mentioned a lot of different technologies, both you and Kirsty, with machine learning, automation, AI, and so forth. From your perspective and from your experience, what are some of the most effective technology deployments that you've seen that help companies stay ahead in the competitive financial services market?
Yeah, so what are the most effective technology deployments? I'll probably put them into three key buckets. First of all is the one that we've seen a huge surge over the last 10 plus years now, cloud computing. So real-time access to financial data, which enables seamless collaborations across teams. It ensures agility and scalability. And many finance leaders have been turning to the cloud, to like cloud-based solutions like Sage Intacct, so you can modernize your operations. Second area is, I would say, is AI-powered finance tools. While AI adoption has continued to grow, not all our organizations are using it for finance-specific tasks. Those that do use it for finance-specific tasks, we're now seeing significant improvements in workflow efficiency and decision-making. Lastly, I'd say automation for smarter metric tracking. Finance leaders know the importance of tracking key business metrics, whether it's for financial performance, customer satisfaction, or sustainability. However, there's often a gap between recognizing the need and actually actively collecting the data, which can be very time-consuming. Automation can bridge that gap, making it easier to gather the insights so you can then actually drive better driven decisions.
Excellent, excellent. We're coming up toward the end of our time. I thought maybe by way of finishing up, and that'll give perhaps the opportunity if there's any final questions that come in through the chat. If we could maybe have a few key takeaways from some of the things that we discussed. We covered quite a bit of ground, and I'll just remind the attendees that if you've registered for this, there will be a recorded copy of this, so you'll be able to go back over it. So don't feel as if you haven't taken every note and caught every remark that you're going to be lost. There'll be plenty of opportunity for you to review this and to take up some of this information. But I thought maybe by way of wrapping up, if both Kirsty and Ruhul, you could each maybe give some of your top line takeaways from the presentation as a way of sort of wrapping up and giving people sort of an idea of what you most essentially would like them to take away. And Ruhul or Kirsty, whoever you'd like to go first, would be good. And then we'll go ahead and close off with a few remarks and some additional resources for our attendees.
Yeah, sure. I can go first with that. So I think what's key to take away is the world is changing. We're all aware of that with the introduction of new technology around AI and machine learning. But I think hopefully the presentation has showed how Sage Intacct can help businesses and CFOs use this technology to their benefit. So they can use this automation to make life easier, to remove those manual, mundane tasks that are taking time. And they can use a cloud-based intuitive platform like Sage Intacct to enable them to make better informed business decisions. And ultimately, Sage Intacct is there to enable businesses to grow and scale. And that's really what's key about this presentation and what we try to get across by completing the demonstration and show.
I'm not sure if we lost Kirsty there. Let's go ahead and we'll see if she does come back on, but maybe Ruhul, if you would be able to talk a little bit about some of your key takeaways from the presentation that you delivered just a moment ago.
Yeah. So I guess, the key tipping point for anyone thinking, am I ready to take on digital transformation? Am I facing these challenges in my current processes and systems? Always look at these three key things, and do you tick off either one of them? And do you have growth issues? Are you adding more entities? Has your transaction volumes increased? Has your business changed over the last 5 years where you're now adding multiple different legal entities? If that is the case, then the systems that you have in place currently is probably not built to meet the needs of the business now and for the future. So definitely question yourself around that. Second piece is around, are you doing a lot of things that's manual? Is there a lot of things that are done on Excel spreadsheet? Is consolidations done manually? Purchasing process, is that being are your invoices coming into the system automatically and being scanned in? Or are you having to key that in manually? Are you having to do consolidations manually? Those things. Reporting, is that done manually? Think about the things that you're doing in your finance team that is taking up significant amount of time. There are now systems in place that can help automate some of those tasks really quickly and make it, moving on to the next bit, visibility. Are you spending significant amount of time trying to build out reports so you've got better visibility of the business? If you don't have real-time visibility, how are you going to be able to react quickly? Again, that's something that we can definitely help with.
Excellent, excellent. And it looks like, Kirsty, we have you back on. I'm afraid it looks like you might have been cut off the last remark that you were making. And if that was the case, I did want to give you the opportunity to go ahead and sort of finish your remarks as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much you heard. It was just what's key for us in the presentation and the demonstration of Sage Intacct is to get across how the platform can help with automation and can really help give businesses access to key information, which is so important in decision making and key to allow businesses to be able to grow and scale. So yeah, that was kind of my finishing point of the day.
Excellent. And that syncs quite well with the point that Ruhul was making. Just again, listening to you and just some of the things that continue to come up, manual processes, how much time being spent on certain things. It really seems to me to be very, very clear what some of the pain points that a lot of organizations and financial services are undergoing, and how unfortunately it seems like a lot of them are taking sort of a grin and bear it sort of approach. And it's, I think, really both important for them to see the technology that is available to help them overcome some of these challenge points, and the importance that it really is something that can transform the kind of work that they do. You both mentioned repeatedly the idea of being able to grow, being able to scale, something that all businesses are looking to do. And certainly time-consuming processes, manual processes, in addition to being error-prone, also can be extremely inefficient. And I think the fact that you all both underscored the role of enhancing efficiency to facilitate growth, to facilitate scaling, I think is a really, really interesting and relevant point for our attendees to take with them. We're coming up toward the end of our time together. I wanted to just, before we go, to let you all know, again, as I mentioned, that you'll have access to this recording as a registered attendee after we've done that. Also, there are some resources that we can advance that final slide that Sage has made available to you. One is a brochure that takes a look at the secrets of successful financial services CFOs that you can access. That will be in your related resources tab on your platform. There is also the opportunity to take a product tour. Again, we had a very thorough, comprehensive demonstration of the technology Kirsty provided as well. But again, if you'd like a deep dive, if you'd like to spend a little bit more time understanding the product a bit more, then that product tour is an excellent opportunity for you to do so. And the final slide gives you indications of how that you can access all of that as well. So I'm going to take one last look and make sure that I haven't missed any of the questions that people have sent us. I do think that we've covered all of those. So again, I want to thank Ruhul. I want to thank Kirsty for your presentation this morning. Again, hitting on some of the top themes, I think, in financial services in terms of enabling technologies, overcoming inefficiencies, and developing that capacity to grow and scale. So I want to thank you both for a very, very interesting presentation. And I want to thank our attendees for joining us for this presentation as well. So thank you and have a fantastic day.